The change must first come from within. That is the message that came for you loud and clear while I was connecting to your energy, Cancer. And so it may feel like you are trying to control a situation or another person, or bring about some sort of catalyst moment or big shift. But the truth is, you can only be responsible for yourself here. And sure, you can help people, you can give them your advice, you can give them feedback, but it feels like your energy needs to go internally right now, because there is something very important that you need to work on or share with others, and it may not be meant for everybody, is the interesting thing. I do want to talk briefly about something that's going on astrologically at the time of this recording, but this is a timeless reading. So you may be watching this at some point in the future, and it may be hearkening back to October 2024 or the autumn of 2024. But it's more of like a callback. Maybe this is a time of a turning point that you are reflecting on in your life now, or perhaps there is just a similar energy that is playing out regardless of what is happening in the astrology of the moment that you are watching this. So just be very open. Time is very fluid here in these readings, and feel free to kind of interpret as things make sense to you. We do actually have Pluto in your opposite sign, Capricorn, moving direct, moving forward again. It's been retrograde for several months, moving backwards in the sign of Capricorn, kind of a review period, and it's actually been moving back and forth between Capricorn and Aquarius for the past few years, since 2020. And whenever we have a planet kind of moving over that 29th degree and the first or 0 degrees of a sign, there is often a shakeup that's happening. There's a major ending that can take place, as well as new beginnings. And even though Pluto is now at this critical 29th degree, which can bring endings, I almost feel like the endings that you've been experiencing, Cancer, have already happened. And now there's kind of this rising above. There's this sort of changing. And for you specifically, this is actually involving your relationships. This is involving your connections to other people. This might be involving your public image as well, or the role that you step in for others. And honestly, this isn't even just about like one person. This is about how you show up in relationships in general. Could be very, very implicated right now. And the animal cards that I pulled for you, because I wanted to get a little more clarity for this honestly kind of cryptic message, I got the lion first. And this very much is kind of a mascot of transformation and self-mastery. It kind of reminds me of the strength card, which also has a lion in it. And there is this sort of emotional maturity or composure that comes with this card. This is someone who can very well be a teacher, a leader, a guide, someone that people look up to, or look towards for advice or guidance. And this could be an energy that you are stepping into. I really feel like a lot of you are actually stepping into this role. But the thing with the lion is that when you're kind of almost like on a pedestal, I want to say, there are people who don't really see your human side, the real you. And so it's important while you step into this energy that you do find support from people who really get you. And this doesn't just have to be one person. This doesn't have to be a romantic thing. I almost get the sense that right now it feels like you want support from a person who can't actually support you. And so you need to turn to friends. You need to turn to family. You need to turn to people who are able to really lift you up in your own moments of vulnerability. And of course, being there for yourself in those vulnerable moments too. Being with those parts of yourself is very, very important with the lion card here. We do also have the horse, and this kind of reminds me of the chariot energy, which is your indicator card, and we even have the crescent moon on the forehead here, and you are ruled by the moon. And I really look at this horse as having a lot of dedication, working very hard towards something. It feels like you are in the final push of something, Cancer, and it's taken a very long time, maybe decades, to see through what you are about to create or step into. So this actually feels really, really exciting. This almost feels like you are stepping into your life's work or the next chapter of your life, and it could be bringing a lot of stability and security. But it is important that you put in the energy, you put in the time, and it is kind of like the marathon, not a sprint with the horse. There is something that you need to really kind of work towards, and it feels like it takes a lot of emotional energy and mastery. So meditation is really, really important. Be the person that you would look up to, is kind of what I'm getting with these cards. And finally, I did actually get the Cosmic Egg, which is a very special card in the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. It's the last card of the deck, and it represents the crown chakra, which is kind of the unfolding of cosmic consciousness. You are going through some sort of major perspective shift or awakening right now. And this card is very much a journey. It's a spiral, and it might feel like you've been going in circles, but you're still ascending. You're still moving upwards, and you're reaching this pinnacle moment right now. You're gaining a lot of clarity. I feel like you're stepping into this moment in your life where you're kind of able to look back and see with appreciation all of the struggles you had to go through to get here. And again, time was fluid. Maybe you're not there quite yet. Maybe this is something that's happening in the future, but you will kind of see things from the top of this hill, so to speak, or this peak, where you can look back on your life and appreciate, yes, this is how far I've come. And maybe you go back down that hill. Maybe there's many hills or mountains to climb, and you don't necessarily know what's on the other side, but spiritually you feel called. You know what you need to do. You see your life in a very different way. You see your life story in a different way. And I feel like right now you're actually in a very powerful energy, a very powerful position. But with that message from the beginning, it has to come from within. You're not going to be able to force someone to change or evolve or go to the next level unless that's something that they really want for themselves internally. And to be honest, I could even see how other people turn to you to do the work for them, Cancer. Maybe they expect that you can heal them. Maybe they expect that you can give them the answers that they need to make their life better. Ultimately, you're just giving people tools. You're not able to do something for somebody else that they have to do for themselves. So being very discerning with that as well. I do want to actually get into the tarot cards for you now, Cancer, and as I do that, I'm just going to give my usual disclaimer that these are general readings, meaning not all the messages that come forward are going to be meant for you specifically. It's up to your own intuition and discernment to figure out what applies to your own life and what should be left behind for somebody else. Also be open to the idea that maybe some of these messages aren't even meant for you. They could be meant for somebody else that you are connecting to in your life right now, maybe something that you should share with them. And that does also help this channel too. I actually really even encourage you to take a moment to pause this video and really just connect with your body. That way you can really feel with your whole being what messages apply to your own life and what should be left behind for somebody else. And of course, I appreciate all of you who support this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. You can also hit the bell notification so you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. And finally, if you are ready for a deep dive and would like a personal reading or distance Reiki session with me, you can book that on my website, which is linked in the description of this video. Now is actually an excellent time to do that because I have a few days left on my Eclipse sale. You can get 20% off using the code ECLIPSE20 on all of my services through October 18th. So now is a great time to book if you've been waiting to do that. And I love working with clients. It's actually my favorite part of this job. So I'm excited to work with you. Anyways, what are the messages that we have for Cancer? What is the wisdom and guidance for Cancer? Interesting. Okay, so we do have the Wheel of Fortune with the 9 of Pentacles. We also have an Ace of Swords coming out here too. Really, really exciting energy. This feels like the Cosmic Egg. You know you are in a new cycle or new chapter, and it does feel like there's a lot of abundance or security that is coming in here. This just screams lucky break to me. And it feels like something that could have happened recently or something that is right around the corner for you. Maybe you got news or intuition. You kind of feel this coming with the Ace of Swords. But I really get the sense like something has changed. Something has shifted. And it feels like a little risk can give a lot of reward to you right now. There's almost like a new lease on life that I get with this Wheel of Fortune. There is this new cycle. And it is the 10th major arcana, this X, this new Roman numeral, this 10. It is a 1 and a 0. So there is a new beginning. There is a fresh start. And 10 does reduce to a 1, but for me in numerology, 10s do have like an extra special significance because there's a lot of potential. There's like a brand new cycle or something brand new to embark on here. And it might be a little bit out of your comfort zone. That is something that can come up with this 9 of Pentacles too. Maybe there's something exciting or a lucky break or opportunity, but it requires you to step out of what is familiar or certain or known to you. And it does feel like this is an opportunity that is coming in, or you're getting some sort of news or something, some sort of message with the Ace of Swords. So it feels like there's exciting news in the horizon for you, or something that has already come into your life. I feel like you're already kind of feeling this new beginning. And it could very well be involving work or abundance or finances. We do also have the King of Cups as well. I kind of feel like this is your energy, but it also represents Scorpio and Pisces energy. And I mean, the King of Cups really is like the healer. It is someone who is kind of like this emotional master. And the best example I could think of to describe this is Fred Rogers. Like someone who's just very sweet, very emotionally present, and not afraid to lean into discomfort. And I feel like that's important for you to do because there is some sort of major change or evolution. And there's a huge difference between feeling nervous about something because it's causing you to grow versus feeling nervous about something because it makes you feel like you have to shrink or break parts of yourself off for it. There is something that is very expansive here. There's something that's really, really exciting, Cancer. And I really feel like you are stepping into the role of like guide, therapist, healer, or teacher. There's something here where you, again, are someone that people look up to or turn to. And you are really kind of like finding your own emotional center and in a way that helps you support other people too. So I really love this energy. I almost get the sense too, some of you could be attracting a person who can kind of match you in this way as well. Interesting. Wow. I got the Strength card. So the Strength card did come up. And it actually did come up with the 3 of Swords. So interestingly, the first interpretation that really comes to mind with this combination is that you are learning to trust and be vulnerable after heartache, or after feeling hurt or betrayed in the past, or maybe even just things not going your way. And the reason I say that is because the 3 of Swords does often indicate some sort of betrayal or setback, something that's very acutely painful to the heart. But it is ultimately something that is temporary, even if it feels very painful in the moment. And the Strength card, again, really does represent this emotional composure, this mastery that keeps coming up for you. I feel like you're getting a really strong handle on your emotions. And with the Strength card, it actually does take a lot of courage and bravery to be vulnerable. And I feel like that's something that you are learning to do again. And like, you're being vulnerable in a way where it's like you are reaching to other people, or other people are learning from your experiences, from the transformation that you've had to go through. And I feel like there is something personal that comes up in that for you. So that's really interesting. For others of you, this could be about being more vulnerable in a relationship. Maybe healing from past hurts or relationships that didn't work out. Wow, we have the Tower. Definitely something very dramatic and painful that ended. Or maybe honestly is ending. But it's like, you know, whatever is ending in your life right now just isn't in your highest good. It's not what you really want. Or that's something to remind yourself. if there is something that is so catastrophically disjointed, it's just not compatible for you, Cancer. It's not compatible to the person that you want to become and to the experience that you want to have. And I almost get the sense like there could be some really big emotions that are coming up for you or someone that you are connected with. And regardless of what's going on here, you are staying very centered in this emotional experience. Or it's important for you to do that. That's kind of the advice for you. Sometimes strength does represent being the bigger person in a situation. And I know that's not a message people like to hear, especially if you feel like you have to fill that role a lot. But that doesn't mean just allowing this person to continue wreaking havoc in your life either. You may need to end something or sever ties with this person or this situation. But there is incredible growth that comes from this. I really do get that. And I'm feeling this, like, I do feel like a stabbing in my chest. I do feel that pain. And I'm sorry if that's something that you're experiencing, Cancer. I do feel like there is something better for you. I mean, I was literally going to say that, and the card that comes after the Tower in the Major Arcana is the Star. And it is about finding hope and faith and renewal again. And the funny thing is, I don't feel like this Tower is presently happening. It feels like you're being triggered. Yeah. There's something that is triggering you right now. And it could be like a minor thing, but it feels like a bigger thing. But there is something better. It is important to move in this direction of healing. Things may not be as serious or as devastating as they appear. And it's important to acknowledge the triggers. And maybe that's the thing that's changing for you. That's this evolution. The Star really does represent a very deep spiritual and emotional healing. It's like finding your way again, or finding your direction, finding your orientation, even if you don't know exactly what's on the road ahead of you, even if you don't know every obstacle that you're about to face, you know the direction that you need to go in. There's this kind of perspective that comes with the Star. And we did actually speak about that earlier in this reading too. There's this sort of renewal in a direction that you need to go in. And it feels very much about your spiritual destiny or soul purpose, or something that makes you feel that sense of meaning and purpose, something that you make meaningful. Yeah, I want to tell you, whatever sort of drama is happening in your life right now, Cancer, I don't think it's the worst case scenario that you think it is, which is sort of interesting. Or even if it is, it's not actually as bad as you're making it out to be. Because there's something around the corner here that feels really beautiful and aligned with you. Can I actually get more sense of what this is? Tell us more about this Star. Wow. Yeah, the Star with the Eight of Cups. You definitely are walking away from broken situations. And funny that I was talking about mountains and hills here and not always being able to see what's on the other side, because this Eight of Cups just describes it perfectly. There is a broken situation here. Something that was almost exactly what you wanted, but not quite. And in order to find this happiness, you kind of need to step out of this valley. You need to climb this mountain. It's work. It's stepping out of your comfort zone. It's stepping out of what you know. But you have to find it on the other side. And so there is kind of like this act of faith. Something that is a little scary or unknown or uncertain. But intuitively, you just know you're supposed to do this, okay? Like, I feel like there is a big move. Some of you might literally be moving. Or starting a new job, or something like that, and doing it without someone or people you thought would be there for you. But this feels like a new direction. Something that you've always wanted, but you've never given yourself permission to want or to go after. Judgment. Yeah, you are literally being so called right now. This actually does kind of remind me of the cosmic egg, that kind of spiritual calling or awakening. There could be things coming up from the past right now, and it's almost like part of a review process. There could be a final test here. Sometimes there is like a reconciliation that comes with this card, but that doesn't mean that you're necessarily getting back together with somebody. It just means that there is a healing, there is a forgiveness that actually really makes a lot of sense with this card. And again, like, forgiveness is an internal thing. That might be the thing that is the shift. The forgiveness happens within you. It doesn't have to happen between you and another person, especially someone who's really hurt or betrayed you. You can still find healing and forgiveness without this other person present. Interesting. Anything else for Cancer? Any other messages? Anything going on in relationships right now? Ace of Pentacles. I do feel like there is a new relationship or a new commitment or going to the next level in a relationship. To be honest, for a lot of you, what this really feels like is maybe there was a relationship that ended in kind of a devastating or emotionally significant way. But there is a more stable relationship coming in, or maybe there's even a new commitment that is on the table now. And I really like this new relationship. It feels like whatever it is that you're stepping into in relationships right now, there is something more stable. There's something more grounded. And I do feel like there could be some triggers that are coming up that are a little confusing right now. And that's why it's important to be really emotionally present for yourself and to kind of lean into that discomfort a little bit and examine what exactly is going on. Anything else? Tell us more about this Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, we do have the Five of Swords. So I do feel like for a lot of you, this comes by walking away from situations or dynamics that aren't good for you anymore. It does feel like you kind of have to cut your loss or cut something away. It might even feel like you're losing a part of yourself. And so it's important that you kind of commit to relationships in a very egalitarian and balanced way. Yeah, I really do feel like for a lot of you, there is like a walking away from one relationship, but there is something very promising in a new connection. And again, time is very fluid here, so you could be in different parts of this reading. Maybe some of you are already in this new relationship, but it feels like there's still something significant where it's like you've had to go through a lot in your relationships, especially with Pluto in your opposite sign in your 7th house. My God, that is a very harsh lesson at times. And there's a lot of clearing. There's a lot of destruction, but also rebirth that comes from that. And it does feel like you are in a rebirth cycle. And there are people coming into your life who are making very genuine and earnest offers to you and supporting you in a very solid way. So we actually love to see this. And sometimes they even think of the Ace of Pentacles as like a commitment, like some sort of object, like a wedding ring or something like that, something to signify a commitment, or like an anniversary or something. Beautiful. I love it. Is there anything else for Cancer? I really don't think so. Anything else for Cancer? The Magician. Yeah, I mean, this really is just about manifesting what you want, going after what you want. This feels like this horse card from the beginning. There is something that you are finally manifesting, and it might have had to come through the destruction or loss of something else. But you are very powerful. And so whatever is falling away in your life right now, Cancer, whatever is coming up for you, it's part of this cleansing or purging. Because you are at this turning point. There is something literally right around the corner that feels very aligned for you, that feels very purposeful for you. And you have what you need. When I look at this Magician card, all of the elements are here at your disposal. You have the sword, you have the pentacle, you have the cup, you have the wand. You have everything you need to manifest what you desire. Or you will very soon. You are coming into that. You are coming into these resources. And that really comes by following this calling, this intuition with the Star, Judgment, and the 8 of Cups. I feel like you are really becoming very successful. And again, I feel like this feels, it's almost like you're self-employed, or you're becoming a guide or mentor or teacher or intuitive or healer. You're able to create something that is very deeply sustaining and nourishing to you. And so really believe in yourself, even if it feels like other people aren't along with you that you thought would be. That's not a measure of who you are, okay? You're not your relationships. And those are all the messages I have for you now, Cancer. I do hope that this was helpful. Definitely be sure to hit like and subscribe, especially if you've made it this far into the video. I really feel like there's just some sort of beautiful calling. So give a little star emoji, or maybe even like an egg emoji for that cosmic egg, because it does feel like there is the birth of something. There is so much potential that is here for you. So really claim this energy right now, especially with the Magician. It's so important to claim this energy. You can find all of my links in the description of this video for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions. Again, I'm running a sale on my website right now, so snag that while you can. And you are also more than welcome to check out the other videos on the playlist on my channel, especially for your moon, rising, or sun signs. There may be messages for you there as well. And I will see you all next time, sending lots of love and blessings your way, Cancer. Take care.